What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Tanner here, and today we're talking Dark Souls 3's gameplay ideas and wish list. This is the series that we talk about games before we see any gameplay. That way we can kind of hopefully influence the developer on things we want to see, because of course if you've already seen the gameplay, well then you've already seen, what's coming and what's going to be in the game. So we talk about games that have not been shown gameplay yet. That way we can go ahead and give the developers ideas on what we want to see and how we want the game to be presented to us and little features that we would like to see inside. So let's get right in. As I said before, today we are talking Dark Souls 3. It has an estimated release date of March 24th, 2016 to April 12th, 2016, anywhere in that area, and it comes with a single player and multiplayer, so it will be available on Microsoft Windows, aka your PC, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. So today that's what we're going to be talking about and what we're going to be, kind of hoping and picking things that we really hope that we can see in the game and what we can find. The first thing I want to talk about is the crafting. What I would love to see in Dark Souls and the crafting, the whole crafting scheme coming from other games and being brought into Dark Souls itself. Now I know there is somewhat of a crafting system in Dark Souls, but I would like to see a full-fledged crafting system. Maybe one where like foraging is more, needed. Maybe you could go around the world and you can collect armor pieces and then you can bring them back to your base and you can scrap them. Or maybe you can just go around and you can, mine things, and then you're able to use that mining system to bring back the iron or bring back the steel or bring back whatever it may be and create new armor from that's more powerful than the other basic armor. Now, of course, I still want like the legendary armor to override the crafted armor, but the crafted armor would be cool for people that are stuck with like a piece of gear that they haven't been able to upgrade in a long time. So I think that the crafting system, if brought to Dark Souls, would be an excellent feature. I really think that, it would make the game much more exciting, because me personally, like when it comes to the Fallout series, the new Fallout and stuff like that, what I get most addicted to is the crafting. Elder Scrolls Online, I'm obsessed with just crafting things, the woodworking, the blacksmithing, the tailoring, whatever it may be, even the cooking. I love to just level up and just do all types of crafting. So if Dark Souls was to bring crafting to their system, I really think that that would help the game, like a full-fledged crafting I should say. I really think it would help the game just develop into something even bigger and better than it already is. Next, I want to talk monsters. Now, Dark Souls is known for its incredibly good-looking monsters and incredibly good-looking boss battles. However, I feel like Bloodborne did it much better when it came to the creepiness of huge, epic monsters. And I would really like to see Dark Souls bring some of that Bloodborne-esque creepiness over to their game itself. What I really want is I want Dark Souls and Bloodborne to like have a baby together, and then that baby has a baby with Silent Hill, and then that baby has like a baby with like Left 4 Dead. And just, add all those babies together and all that family bloodline. And I would like to see Dark Souls 3 monsters be incredibly epic. Next thing I want to talk about is the difficulty. I really want this game to be extremely difficult. I really want it to be, one of the most difficult in the entire series. I want people to go absolutely insane, and I want it to be something special when you finally beat the game. Many games nowadays are just pandering to the new people, and that scares me with Dark Souls 3 because, they know that they have this hardcore crowd of people who love their game. However, you could still have people who don't love that hardcore feeling, and they want their handheld, and they want, they want little arrows to point them where to go, and you press a button and it puts a line on the ground. You just follow the line. Stuff like that is not what I want to see this game do. Lots of games have been pandering to the noobs lately, and I will admit I'm even a noob to the Dark Souls series somewhat myself. I played 1 and 2, enjoy 1 much more, and I've also played Bloodborne, but I really am still a noob to the series. I haven't really been able to beat the game without ever getting hit and all those other crazy little challenges that the really good veterans of the game can complete. I'm not anywhere near that level yet. So I really would like to see those guys, though, be the ones who beat the game first, because they deserve it, because they're excellent players. They're essentially Dark Souls pros, if you want to think of it like that. So I want the game to be epically hard so that when I finally beat it after many tries, that the game just feels refreshing and it feels awesome to finally do it. I remember I spent on Bloodborne the other day maybe like 2 hours trying to beat one single part. I just kept getting like 30 minutes into it, and before I could ever find a lamp, I would get killed and taken all the way back to the beginning, lose all my souls, and sometimes not even be able to make it back as far as I made it. Finally beat it, and I felt amazing. So I hope that they make this game extremely difficult and keep it from being pandered to noobs. Next, I want to talk PvP. Now, Dark Souls 2 didn't really have a PvP, or maybe it did, but you kind of like, you just entered people's worlds and you could fight for a second. That's not what I want. I want a true PvP system. Something like a World of Warcraft where we queue up while we're running single player campaign and we can, queue up, get matched up with somebody. Maybe the game, maybe you should wait until the end game, or maybe there's a pre-PvP where it balances everybody out. And then there's also an end game PvP. Whatever it may be, I want to see legit exclusive PvP to the Dark Souls series. Not only do I want to see standard 1v1s from the Dark Souls series, the way that Bloodborne does it, but I want to see epicness as of 2v2, 3v3. That way, if there's healers in the game, maybe we make a new healing class that can kind of heal himself, like a Templar where it's healing and damage, and that guy's going to be able to heal his teammates. Or you could just have, a straight burst team, or you could have a straight tanky team, whatever it may be. And you will see these different setups within the game just be created. The different metas are created the same way World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls, and all these other games have created their metas just by people playing overtime and, developing what works and what doesn't. So if they would bring a true PvP system to this game, I'm talking open tournaments, like it's a tournament that you enter and it's 1 week long or something, and you just keep fighting throughout the tournament. You wait until your day, you have to play on your day or you automatically forfeit, la-di-da-di-da, and you just work your way up to the end of the week, the top guy. Or maybe it's just a ladder system where people are just, playing as much as they can, trying to win as much as they can, earning as much XP, and trying to build up the ladder the same way like game battles or something like that works. I think that would be really, really, really helpful to the game. Extremely helpful. I know a lot of people wanted to see PvP in the second one, and it didn't, end up being what they wanted to see. So I really, really hope they bring out some excellent PvP systems, and I think that would really make this game just explode. Last thing I would like to talk about, one of the last things I'd like to talk about is a campaign-related object and making a co-op campaign. Now, as far as I know, I couldn't figure out how to get my buddy to just play the whole entire campaign with me. It was more like we could, meet up and do bosses together. I believe Bloodborne may have the same concept where you meet up and just beat bosses together. I'm not really sure how Bloodborne's work. I have never tried it on Bloodborne, but I have tried it on Dark Souls, and all I could really get to work was like they would come in and we could just like fight the boss together, fight the small area together, and then he would have to go back to his single player world and have to do his thing. And I can kind of understand why they want you to experience it and get scared and all that stuff by yourself instead of talking to your friend. They want you to listen to the atmosphere, and that's totally understandable. But maybe you could set it up like when you beat the campaign the first time, now you're able to play the game co-op. I think co-op is the way of the future. I think the multiplayer itself is still, really, really incredibly popular, but I think co-op's making a comeback. People are like just sitting down with their buddy. That way you have no random noobs messing up your concepts or your little pre-metas or whatever you have going on. I think that a co-op campaign, a complete co-op campaign, is exactly what this franchise needs. And the very last thing I would like to talk about is a customizable safe house. Now, I really like in Bloodborne how you go back to, I think it's called the Hunter's Dream, which is basically, you think about it like your safe house where you can craft things and you can store things and you can purchase things and la-di-da-di-da. I would love to see a customizable Dark Souls safe house, one that you can maybe make different from how your friend set it up, or maybe one that you could choose to craft 2 storage sets, or you could choose to craft a storage set in a workbench, or you can choose to have the workbench storage set and another storage set somewhere else in the building. I just think that the concept of having a safe house, especially a customizable safe house, is a huge thing that any game should put in there, because it makes players just want to spend time crafting and doing their own stuff where they're in the safety. They can go AFK there, go get a bite to eat, go to the bathroom, whatever, and they can feel safe there rather than just pausing the game and kind of breaking the feeling that when you come back from pause, you're kind of in the middle of a battle, or you're just standing there and you lost all the atmosphere. I think that the safe house is always like one of those things where it's like, okay, I'll eat when I get back to the safe house. And by doing that, you create a safe place that people can go to where when they don't break their immersion in the game in the middle of it. And that completes today's video. That pretty much sums up all the things that I would love to see in the Dark Souls, the new game. Basically, I would just love to see, Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne take those great concepts from both of those games, smash them together, create Dark Souls 3, create an epic experience that anybody can enjoy, but make it very hard so they have to work for what they want. Bring out PvP. Customization is a must, and all those things together will give you Dark Souls 3, which could be one of the most epic RPGs of the year. So let's hope everything works out now that they don't have Fallout and Elder Scrolls and all these other games to compete with. Let's hope that Dark Souls really captures 2016 and makes it the year of the RPG. and we can see some really awesome games. So it's developed, like I said, developed by From Software. It's published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Make sure you guys go to GameStop.com or any of your local retailers and drop a pre-order if you really like it. I'm not a pre-order guy, but make sure you pre-order it if your store happens to get sold out or something like that. I live in such a big area that I don't have a problem with that. They have plenty of copies. I never have to pre-order anything besides Call of Duty. I always pre-order Call of Duty, but that's neither here nor there. So I appreciate you guys' support. If you guys appreciate the video and you liked it, make sure you drop a like. I appreciate your support as always. Have a good day, have a good night, and peace.